here is a higher detailed drawing of the free energy production. So as note, we have Earth's gravity due to the magnetism. Earth is this, the center circle, which represents a sphere, which is the Earth. The lines represent the poles of the magnetism. You have north at the top and south at the bottom, and they come into the center a little bit where the equator is. Now, you have your one magnet that is attached to the generator, and on the other side of it there is a mirror. Well, not necessarily a mirror, but the line represents a mirror due to the exact same thing as on the other side. The only difference is the magnet on the other side is stationary, which meaning that this magnet does not move. This magnet is the one that is spinning around. Now, this magnet is not directly connected to the generator, as you can see. It is in its own little box that is magnetically shielded along with the other magnet that is on the other side of the mirror. So that other magnet is in this same box that is magnetically shielded, which means like a lead box or something. Now, the generator is in its own box, which it is also magnetically shielded, and both of these boxes are in a vacuum, which means there is no air whatsoever in there. There may be gravity, but there is no oxygen, no anything. It's just a vacuum, meaning both boxes have to be vacuum packed. Now, the lines that come out of the generator have to be completely separated, which meaning that the positive line has to be in its own magnetically shielded, like a little deal, like a lead coat all the way to out the side of the box. Now, that doesn't have to, the box doesn't have to be very big, just enough to hold the magnet. Same goes on the other side. It has to be magnetically shielded all the way out the box. Now, the magnets will spin continuously due to the poles are complete opposite. So when the magnet is built, north needs to be on the top and south needs to be on the bottom. Exactly how the Earth's gravity is, where only north is at the top and only south is at the bottom. That way when you put the other magnet to it, north is facing north and south is on the other side. So the other magnet would actually look, it would be the circle or the cylinder or whatever, and and you would have the pole going through it, and north would be over here and south would be over here. So that's what it has to look like. The exact same thing, just mirrored, and since the two norths are facing each other, this magnet is going to try and escape this magnet. That's why this is stationary, and it is on the same pole, which means the magnet cut is exactly the same as this magnet cut, and it's facing the other way, where north is facing north. Now, when you use the wires that are coming out of the generator, since it's generating a kind of the same electricity, but a different kind of electricity, it's going to be not necessarily a higher or lower voltage, but it's going to be a magnetism electricity. So these wires cannot be used. These are today's wires, where you have the positive, the neutral, and the negative. Neutral would be your ground. Now, the wires that can be used are the old wires in the old houses, where they're separated, where the positive is over here, and then 1 to 2 feet across, the negative is over here. Now, the ground also has to be separated. The ground has to come directly from the appliance. Yeah, I'm shaking all around, I'm sorry. But since the magnet is creating the electricity, the generator is in a vacuum-controlled box where the magnet is creating the electricity due to the spin. I guess you could possibly use any like electric motor that we have nowadays to create that energy, but it wouldn't be as efficient as a magnetism motor, which meaning that the electricity is created due to the magnetism that is being created in these two boxes. You want to harness that, not, just any other electric generator. That'll be explained in another video. So with this information right here, we know how to make the two magnets spin continuously and hook it up to a generator that we can use that is not efficient, but we can use to create free energy. Now, what causes these magnets to spin, again, is because this is true north and this is true north. When the two true norths face each other, they try to repel each other, which causes them to spin if there is a pole in the exact center of both of them on the exact same spot, which means that the magnets have to be exactly the same. Now, if they are exactly the same, the magnet spin can be controlled if the magnet strength is increased or decreased, which meaning that this other one does not actually have to be a magnet. It can be something that creates a magnetical field, like a generator. But for it to spin freely without any loss of power, it would have to be a magnet that is exactly the same magnitude as this one. Because as soon as you make this magnet not a magnet, then you're using energy on it. For that energy to be completely free, that magnet has to be exactly the same as this one, which would cause it to spin infinitely until you pull the two magnets apart. Now, you can make it impossible to pull the two magnets apart if the south side poles are increased drastically. Like the magnetism on the south side of them is a lot more than the north side. Because then you have the north on this one would be attracted to the south on this one. Then you have the north on this one, which would be attracted to the south on this one. And also they would be attracting each other, which is going to be creating a field. The more they are attracted to each other, the more power you can produce. In order to get it exactly right though, the magnets both have to be of the exact same magnitude. Now the magnet is going to wear out over time, but it may take, thousands of years for it to wear out. With this technology right here, the worlds can have free energy anywhere and everywhere. And this is the information they do not want you to know. It's not the world's most precious resource. Water is the world's most precious resource. Clean drinking water is the world's most precious resource. Because there's not always a lot of that. But we can create magnets. And we can go to the North and South Pole to get magnets. But we cannot go anywhere to get water. We only have what's on the planet. And we use water to make oil and gasoline. And other chemicals and whatnot. So we need to stop using water as a source of energy and start using magnetism. Magnetism is everywhere. It is what the galaxy is based upon because it is what creates gravity, which is what holds everything together. Use magnetism as a source of energy. It's what the aliens use.